I'm Michelle, 32. I'm sitting in my cozy living room, looking at the photo Amanda sent me a while back. In it, she and the kids are sitting on the floor of their new place, surrounded by pizza boxes and a small Christmas tree, with the caption, "We're okay." It brings a sense of relief and a flood of memories. It all started last Christmas. I was so excited that year. I'd spent weeks carefully selecting presents for everyone in the family. I held two big gift bags, filled with love and thought, as I stood on my parents' porch. But then, my sister, Lily, 29, stood in the doorway, arms crossed, and said, "Christmas isn't a place for losers." The cold December air was nothing compared to the pain of her words. My parents, Mr. and Mrs. Thompson, were a bit old-fashioned. My dad was a strict man who always believed in tough love, and my mom was more passive, often going along with what others said. When Lily made it clear I wasn't welcome, my dad just pretended to be busy in the kitchen, and my mom gave an awkward shrug. I'd always been the generous one in the family. When Lily married Jake, 31, they were in a financial mess. Jake quit his job to start his own business, but it never really took off. Lily was working part-time at a local diner, barely making ends meet. I remember the first time I helped them. It was for their rent, just 2 days before they were going to be evicted. Lily called me, crying, and I wired the money right away. I thought it was just a temporary thing, but it became a regular occurrence. Over the years, I paid for the kids' school supplies, sports uniforms, and even that expensive summer camp they boasted about on social media. But as time went on, my help was no longer appreciated. It became an expectation. When I tried to cut back a bit one year, saving for my own future, Lily made me feel like I was the worst sister in the world. That Christmas, when she turned me away, I was heartbroken. But I also got angry. I drove back home, and then I decided I needed answers. So I went back to my parents' house. When I confronted Lily, she said I'd been slacking off and that the kids barely got anything from me that year. I was shocked. I'd spent so much on them, and there were still more gifts in my car. After that, I decided I was done. I stopped all the financial support. No more paying their bills or sending surprise packages. I wanted them to know what it was like to be independent. Christmas and New Year's passed in silence. I hoped my parents would reach out, but they didn't. The silence was painful, but it also made me stronger. Then, in late January, Lily and Jake showed up at my door. Lily said the kids barely had what they needed and that Jake was doing everything he could. I laughed at that. Jake had always been between jobs, claiming to be working on something big. When Lily accused me of being selfish, I finally snapped. I told her I was done financing their lives and that if they wanted more, they should earn it. 2 days later, I got a call from an attorney, Mr. Carter. He said his client, who turned out to be Lily, had concerns about the financial contributions I'd made to her and Jake. He invited me to his office. When I went there, he showed me evidence that Jake had been diverting the money I'd given them into a separate account. The money was spent on online trading, fancy restaurants, and expensive electronics. I was angry and betrayed, but also relieved. I knew I'd made the right decision. Lily later called me and told me she'd confronted Jake. She said she was thinking about separation and needed to figure out what was best for the kids. I told her I'd support her, but I couldn't go back to the way things were. A few weeks later, Lily texted me that they were leaving. She'd found a small rental in another town. She was short on the deposit and first month's rent, and I decided to help her. This time it felt different. It was about helping her take a step towards independence. Now, as I look at the photo, I know that setting boundaries was the best thing I could have done. I've learned the difference between helping and enabling, and I'm glad I walked away from the toxic situation. Lily is starting a new life, and I'm here to support her in a healthy way. Tom still calls sometimes, but I don't pick up. His words don't matter anymore. I'm finally free.